We see here in just 6 verses, brothers and sisters, that sudden change in Nathanael or Bartholomew, who was quite frank about his unbelief of that Philip and the rest of his friends found Jesus. But what led Nathanael to believe in Jesus was what Jesus said first, that he saw him under a fig tree. Where is that? I saw you under the fig tree. Now, there are different interpretations to this, brothers and sisters, but for the prophet Zechariah, this being under the fig tree is symbolic of the messianic peace that the Lord promised the chosen people. To sit under a fig tree is to study the law and to await the coming of the Messiah promised by God. Most probably, brothers and sisters, Nathanael or Bartholomew was really seeking the Lord sincerely as a true Israelite. And although Israel or Jacob was a duplicitous man because he tricked his father Isaac and his brother Esau so that he could attain God's blessing, but the true Israelite is a sincere and honest man. Just like a person sincerely seeking the Lord under a fig tree, under the shade of a symbolic tree that has been used by God to symbolize Israel and God's care for Israel in the Old Testament. And then suddenly, the Lord promised Nathanael that he will see heaven laid open, and above the Son of Man, the angels of God ascending and descending. This is a beautiful reminder for us in this contemporary world, brothers and sisters, because since the modern times, as I was taught, starting with René Descartes, we started to believe that there is a separation between the temporal world and the world of the divine. That the world that we should believe in should only be the world that's visible, that's tangible, that's empirical. This is not in the mindset of a true Israelite, brothers and sisters, because for the chosen people, there is no separation between heaven and earth. And this is what is shown to us in our first reading from the Apocalypse. At the end of time, this is the second to the last chapter of Apocalypse, heaven will descend on earth again to show to us that God's plan from the very beginning will come to fruition once again at the end of time, when there will be no separation between man and God, between heaven and earth. And Nathanael saw this. At first, he did not believe that the coming of the Messiah could come from a backwater town, or that it could happen during his time, although he sincerely sought the fulfillment of God's promises, especially in the person of the Messiah. And when he saw this, immediately he committed himself to this reality happening before his eyes. This reality continues to happen during our time and until this is fulfilled in the coming of the Messiah, brothers and sisters. The Feast of St. Bartholomew is a reminder for us that really there is no separation between heaven and earth. God comes to us so that it becomes part of our consciousness once again that we are never really apart from the Lord. We are always in the presence of the Lord. And concretely, when we come to the Eucharist, we are reminded in an empirical, tangible, sensible way that Jesus comes to us in the form of food. And just as we cannot survive without food, we cannot survive without God. This artificial separation between the temporal and the heavenly world is an illusion. We should gain the consciousness again that God is with us. That because of Jesus, that ladder has grown into a highway where we could have access to heaven, and heaven very much is present here on earth, although in an imperfect way right now. And so, let's ask the Lord, brothers and sisters, that we may have the vision of Bartholomew, his conviction, and his desire to see God made visible in our present reality. And of course, we have that in the Eucharist. We have that also through the intercession of Our Lady. And so, let us prepare to receive Jesus in his body and blood, and let's prepare to see even more clearly that God is really with us and among us. There is no separation between our world and God's world.